The Texans were going quick on offense. Iowa State standouts and more. The four biggest takeaways from practice headed your way, presented by my friends at Platinum AC and Heating. Dwayne's the best in the business, from repairs to replacements to preventative maintenance. Platinum AC and Heating can handle all of your HVAC needs. The four biggest takeaways as the Texans hit the practice field again on Tuesday after a Monday walkthrough and an off day on Sunday after that preseason game Saturday. Now that you know the schedule, here's what happened in practice, and let's start with the quick passing game being the name of the game for the Texans. Man, CJ Stroud and this offense were really on it in this one. Felt like Stroud was making some really good decisions with the football, was getting the ball out quick, and they were able to, at plenty of different times throughout the course of practice, from 7-on-7 to team periods, get the ball out of Stroud's hands before the defense could go out there and make a play. And he was making really good decisions with the football. In fact, I think there'd probably only be a couple, maybe three throws where Stroud would say, yeah, I really want that back because I could have done this or I could have done that. But he had some really nice plays. Obviously, Christian Kirk over on the sideline at one point, over the middle to Xavier Hutchinson. More about him in a minute. Dalton Schultz in some quick game action. One of the better throws of the day, a dart to Jalen Noel on the back shoulder for Noel as he was going and headed out. Kamari Lassiter came in. I timed it as I watched it that Lassiter was early to get the tackle, so to speak. So Noel caught that and turned it upfield for a nice gain. But the best play of the day wasn't a quick game play. It was a display and a showcase that when they protect, they can drive the ball down the field. Stroud with play action, he dropped back and he uncorked one to the left sideline, and Justin Watson's hands were right there. That ball landed right in Watson's hands over Kamari Lassiter. It was a perfect throw. It was the best throw of the day. It's one of the best plays all of training camp, but you can see the confidence for the offense in their ability to win quickly, get open, and give Stroud an option to get rid of the football fast. And they're going to need that over the course of the season as they deal with an offensive line that is not going to always protect really well on the longer developing plays. But that great play on the day, it's really nice to see that big play on the day as a longer developing play. Hey, there's still moments where this offensive line can get it done, and that was one of them. So a pretty darn good day for the offense. Not to say the defense had a bad day. They certainly had their moments in the course of this one. So it was a solid day overall for a late training camp practice. You kind of want the defense to have some wins, the offense to have some wins. You want a little bit of back and forth between those two. I've gone back and forth on who's the third wide receiver for this team, but it feels to me now like it's going to be Xavier Hutchinson, the late round pick from a couple of years ago, finally coming into his own. And he's had a really strong training camp. He continued with some successful moments in this practice as well, winning over the middle. He had a really nice win where he kind of dispatched Derek Stingley in 7-on-7s when Stingley was on him. Now, Hutchinson did have a drop over the middle on what would have been a pretty darn big play, but the Texans put him out there with Nico Collins and Christian Kirk and three wide receiver sets. He's not out there every time, but he's out there more than Jaden Higgins, Jalen Noel in those situations, and he's certainly getting those opportunities, and he's made the most of those opportunities. And that's one of those things that D'Amico Ryans talks about a lot, about one of his joys of coaching is watching a guy grow, certainly within practice, within training camp, but over the years as well. And Hutchinson has done a really good job here in camp with his consistency and making plays. He has trust with CJ Stroud. He goes out there and wins routes quickly against a variety of different defensive backs that the Texans throw at him. So Hutchinson, kind of that wide receiver 3, though Higgins is close at his heels. We'll talk about the rookie wide receivers from Iowa State here in just a moment. But Xavier Hutchinson, a bottom of the depth chart guy coming into camp, found his way into the middle of the depth chart here in camp. Speaking of the bottom of the depth chart, Justin Watson catching that ball over on the sideline, had another nice catch on a quick one from CJ Stroud. I'm not sure that he's on the roster, but he certainly has done a good job in the preseason game against the Panthers, certainly in this practice with the great catch over there on the sideline. He's certainly done a job a good job of creating a candidacy for him to be on the roster if the Texans indeed keep 7 wide receivers. If you're thinking about those 7, it's Nico Collins, Christian Kirk, it's Jaden Higgins, Jalen Knoll, it's Xavier Hutchinson, Braxton Berrios as the special teams ace and slot receiver backup, and then Justin Watson would be 7 as a guy that can help you on the outside as well. Watson doing a good job creating a candidacy for him to be that 7th wide receiver. Of course, the roster crunch could catch him in the maybe quest to keep an extra running back or an extra linebacker or an extra defensive tackle. But if the roster crunch doesn't catch him, Watson on this team as the 7th wide receiver. You need the team at Platinum AC and Heating if you have any HVAC issues, from commercial HVAC to your home, from preventative maintenance to full repairs or to full replacements, like I had earlier this summer with my air conditioning system. Dwayne at Platinum AC and Heating can do it all. 5-star rated by the Better Business Bureau. Best prices in town, best service in town. When he did my air conditioner earlier this summer, his team was here knocking it out like that. And if it hadn't been raining that day, they might have been done even faster than they already were. And I was blown away by how quick they got it done. If you're sitting in a hot house, don't call Platinum AC and Heating. Call Dwayne. Tell him you heard about him here on the channel. Talk some Texans with him. He's a Texans fan just like you. Get that AC up and running. Speaking of getting things up and running, you can see it building for the Iowa State rookies, but I can't tell you that Higgins and Knoll have just grabbed the opportunity to be on the field over Xavier Hutchinson and some of the other players in the wide receiver room. It's building, and you certainly see the good. And you think about the preseason game with Jaden Higgins where he had that fantastic out where he set the corner up and was able to get out there and made the diving catch. Knoll's play in the practice today is an example of growth and evolution. And Higgins is not totally supplanted by Xavier Hutchinson. They rotate with that situation opposite Nico Collins on the field at the same time as Collins and Christian Kirk. So there's plenty to like about what the Iowa State rookies have done. They just haven't gone out there and just totally blown past some guys who have a lot more NFL experience than them in Xavier Hutchinson, obviously Watson, even Berrios in the conversation as well. Not to say they've been bad, but they haven't just gone out there and forced their way to be on the field over other guys. They will have clear roles for this team. They will be useful football players. It's just not been one of those where you have to put them on the field because they're so much better than other guys. And that's a testament to a guy like Xavier Hutchinson having a good camp and having experience and being ahead of the rookies in Knoll and Higgins. It's not a bad report. It's just, hey, don't expect to see them all over the place a ton right away for this Texans team. But I am intrigued to see them go into Detroit in that joint practice and see what Higgins and Knoll can do in that one. That will be a fun watch. I'll be in Detroit to check that out. Also be interested to see how that O-line looks. The shuffle continued for the offensive line, though that first-team offensive line was the O-line we've come to expect. Ariante Ursary at left tackle, Laken Tomlinson at left guard, Jake Andrews at center, Ed Ingram at right guard, and Titus Howard at right tackle. Later on, C.J. Stroud was protected by Cam Robinson at left tackle and Juice Scruggs at right guard. The other 3 spots stayed the same. That's right, Cam Robinson back at practice. He's only ever played left tackle, so he'll either start at left tackle or he'll be the backup to Ariante Ursary at left tackle. And as far as Ursary goes, he hasn't been over on the right side in a long time. So it feels like he will either be the starting left tackle or Cam Robinson's backup for Ursary, because Titus Howard seems to have locked down that right tackle spot. Of course, Blake Fisher is a little dinged up right now. Also hasn't been good when he has been healthy. So Howard is your right tackle. The right guard competition, Ingram and Scruggs. And then what they do at left guard, it feels like it'd be Ursary if they had to play a game tomorrow. Obviously, Robinson has missed time, but it feels like it'd be Ursary at left tackle if a game popped up, say, tomorrow. Ursery had a pretty rough day on this one. 3 consecutive plays in a row. He just looked lost out there. Derek Barnett got up into the big offensive lineman and then moved off of him to get to C.J. Stroud. The next play, Barnett fired off the ball so quickly, Ursery almost allowed him to get to Stroud on a slow developing screen to Dameon Pierce on the left side. And then after all that, Danielle Hunter's in the game, and he just blew past Ursery for a sack. Not the best day for the rookie tackle, but he's had some pretty darn good days, and the competition is not easy. Derek Barnett's a really solid veteran player. We know how good Danielle Hunter is, so not a total judgment on Ursery overall, but just not a banner day for the rookie left tackle as he tries to lock down that starting left tackle spot. If they had to play a game tomorrow, I believe it'd be Ursery, Tomlinson, Andrews, Ingram, and Howard. I would leave the door a little open for Cam Robinson to be the left tackle. I don't believe they want to put Ursery back on the right side. And if you are comfortable as a team putting Ursery out there as the left tackle, heck, go ahead and start his journey as the potential franchise left tackle right now. And yeah, Cam Robinson's money's already spent. Who cares if he's a $13 million backup? We can complain about maybe they should have spent the money elsewhere, right guard, later if that happens. That's my big takeaways from practice. So what'd you like or dislike from what you heard? Let me know in the comment section down below. On your way down there, thumbs up on this video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Check out myself and Landry Locker from the Locker Room on SNL each and every weekday at 4 p.m. The link to that channel is in the description down below. Tons of written recaps and articles on Houston football if you want to check that out. And, of course, HVAC, AC needs, Platinum AC and Heating has you covered. Appreciate you watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I can't wait till we talk Texans again soon.